5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Are you associated with romantic leagues?
Yes. Mr. Sir, you sound English, so I presume you're not.
That would be a nice little 3 down and 7 to go, Bennett. You were right, Miss Francis.
Is he English? But he is. Are you English?
Yeah. That won't count as a question, because I think Bennett really revealed that. You go ahead, Arlene.
Are you a director as well as a performer?
No.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Bean.
Do you... No, it couldn't be him. Have you made a musical?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Oakland.
Are you currently in a movie in which you have a great deal to do with a great many young ladies?
Yeah.
Are you Michael Caine?
I wasn't always Michael Caine. I was born Morris Joseph Micklewhite. My mother was a child lady, cleaner, and my father was a Billingsgate fish market porter. I was expected to follow in his footsteps, but I hated the smell of fish.
Do you know this shortcut to say your name as the way the impressions?
Yeah.
People say, you say, my cocaine.
Yeah.
Like the drug, but loud.
Yeah, but I'll tell you a story about that.
Oh, yes.
I was making a picture in the Philippines, and I'm in Manila, and we were invited to this very, very posh, expensive house to a party. And I'm being introduced to people and standing, getting a drink and all that. And the hostess is standing over there, and she's looking at me rather nastily, considering that I'm a guest, you know. And there was a moment when I was a bit free, and she went... So I went over her, and she said, "Are you a drug dealer?" I said, "No. Why do you ask?" She said, "Why is everybody calling you my cocaine?"
I would like to talk about this that you sent me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, now, in reply to the question, suggest how you would resolve the staging difficulties inherent in a production of Ibsen's Peer Gynt. You have written, quote, "Do it on the radio," unquote.
Yeah.
24, 15 when Plus looked out on the feet of Stephen. Told the story roundabout, deep but crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the...
What do you want?
The penny for the song, Governor?
Jack! You shouldn't have shown the film to Frank.
I had to. It was the only way I could get at them.
Well, you shouldn't have. Your brother was going to the police.
You shit.
You didn't have the guts to do it yourself, did you?
They killed me.
They killed my brother instead.
I didn't mean to do it.
How would you have liked it if that had been your daughter being poked in that film? What would you have done then? Slags like your Sandra can get away with it, can't they? The Dorings of this world can't, can they?
First of all, you never change eyes, and what you do is you pick an eye. Now, which eye do you pick? I look at, with this eye, because the camera is there, I look at this eye, at your eye there, which brings my face, you can see. If I look with this eye at that eye, look what you get. You see the difference? But it's the same look. There's a gap between your knees and your calves and your ankles.
You know, right now there's a huge gap between my brain and my spinal cord, all right? Here, take these.
No armored car?
That would be in my other dress.
By the way, what are you planning to do for your talent? Sing, dance, chew with your mouth closed?
I will do whatever you want me to, Yoda.
Oh, Lord. Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England.
Why does Dr. Loach say that every night?
Does it because we like it.
If a Frenchman comes up and asks a girl if she wants to get laid, that's romantic. If an Englishman does it, she says, "What do you think? I have a prostitute."
How do you do?
Well, I certainly never ask. I take a lesson from Vance Packard and use hidden persuaders, which of course is very modern.
Now, what would you like?
Everything.
I've had a lovely time, Alfie.
A married woman, see? They're every one of them in need of a good laugh. But they'll never strike their husbands. I always say, make a married woman laugh, and you're halfway there with her. Of course, it don't work with a single bird. Start you off on the wrong foot. You get one of them laughing, you won't get nothing else. Here, just listen to it. It was dead glum when I met it tonight. I listened to all its problems, then I got it laughing. It will go home happy.
That was the most delicious meal.
Good.
Do you always wear your glasses?
Yes. Except in bed. Did you ever get around to the poem on page 112?
Yes, it made me cry. It was so beautiful, so romantic.
I want so badly to kiss her. Not here, you idiot. You've got to get her alone someplace. But I've got to proceed cautiously. This is a very delicate situation. Okay, ask her if you can see her for lunch or a drink tomorrow. And be ready to make light of the offer if she's unresponsive. This has to be done very skillfully and very diplomatically.
Did you ever read this one?
Elliot, don't! Lee, I'm in love with you.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I have to talk to you. There's so much that I want to tell you.
Elliot.
I have been in love with you for so long.
Please forget it. I don't have any interest in selling.
Which of the three of us is really the funniest?
Oh, that's too easy. No, really. Well, I think it's him.
I think I'm the funniest.
Do you?
Yeah.
Dr. Watson always said, start by listing everything you know. So let us begin. Number 1. Moriarty.
Isn't he wonderful?
He is behind all this. That's one thing we know. Very good. Progressing nicely. Now, the next thing we know. Number 2.
This might take a while, Holloway. away and get some tea.
All right. Let's go back to number 1. Perhaps the clue's in Moriarty's name. Clever people often do that. Amity, rarity. I've got it! His real name is Artie Morty.
So, you are numb from the waist down. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Completely numb. No feeling whatsoever.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you won't be feeling Mr. Piggy then, will you?
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a toke of the weed, Michael?
Yeah, I smoked a marijuana.
It's out of the realm.
Well,
we're supposed to be talking about pies here.
You can put it in a pie.
Yeah, well, I had marijuana pie. Yeah.
We did that as one of the technical challenges.
No,
Mary's still recovering.
Mary was off her tits.
Flying. She was hallucinating for months.
No, I smoked marijuana for once, and I laughed for 5 hours. I nearly got a hernia. And I was at a party, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to get a ride from Mayfair to Notting Hill Gate, where my flat was.
Yeah.
And I was standing on the street corner on my own at 1 o'clock in the morning, roaring with laughter, trying to get a cab. So I had to walk home. And I thought, I'm never smoking one of them again.
You failed to maintain your weapon, son. I don't reckon you've got long. I've seen that before. Gut wound. The slug's probably torn right through your liver. Mate of mine in Ulster got caught in sniper fire. Bullet blew his inside out. He screamed for a good 10 minutes. We couldn't send a medic in. The section was too hot. So we all took cover and watched him die. I've never told that to anyone. You should have called an ambulance for the girl.
Wait a minute. What the hell are you talking
I am saying that tomorrow she'll be on stage with nothing to do but convert oxygen into carbon dioxide.
Hey, you also said you couldn't make her beautiful in 2 days, and look at her now. Look how gorgeous she is. I mean, compared to the car wreck she was before.
My duties are clearly stated in a contract, and I have fulfilled them all.
Listen to me. You talent her up by tomorrow morning, or else
Are you threatening me?
Listen to me, you old fruitcake.
How dare you cupcake?
Hey, time out, guys. This is something I know how to do, all right? I haven't done it since high school, but it's kind of like riding a bike.
You are not having sex on this stage.
I didn't know that was an option, all right?
It would have been wiser if you'd both gone home at the end of your army service.
Home to what? A porter's uniform outside a restaurant? And tanner tips from belching civilians for closing cab doors on them and their blousy women?
Not for us, thank you. Not after watching Afghans come howling down out of the hills and taking battlefield command when all the officers had copped it.
Well said, Brother Drabbit.
There may be no criminal charges against you, but I'll see these files reach Calcutta with the recommendation that you be deported as political undesirables. Detriments to the dignity of the Empire and the Izzat of the Raj.
Detriments, you call us? Detriments? Well, I want to remind you it was detriments like us that built this bloody empire and the Izzat of the bloody Raj. That's on. About turn. By the left. Quick march. Left. Turn.
Which one of us has the most speeding tickets on our record? I don't have any. Huh? You have any speeding tickets?
No, I drove so slowly, I nearly got a speeding ticket for holding the traffic up.
I don't have one either.
Yeah, I don't like driving.
I love it.
I love looking out the window.
Well, if you drive, you have to look out the window.
Yeah, but at the front, I want to look out the sides. At the shops and stuff. You know. Willie, how's gone? I've got a new getaway car.
Where the hell did you get that thing?
I stole it. Jump in the basket.
Who the hell you think I am? E.T.?
Willie, jump in the bloody basket.
I'm not getting in no bloody basket.
She's gaining on us. They were out to dress well and feel good, which we did and do. I've got his jacket on now, I feel good.
You know, Michael, when he's not on camera, he's fairly scruffy. You know, Dougie smartened him up. He polished up quite well.
Really, Watson, I think you underestimate my own native deductive abilities. Listen, you hear those footsteps? I'd say this was a woman about 5'5", weighed about 12.5 stone, age 54. Voila.
If you please, Mr. Scrooge, it's gotten colder. And the bookkeeping staff would like to have an extra shovel full of coal for the fire.
We can't do the bookkeeping. Yeah, all of our pens have turned to inksicles. Yeah, our assets are frozen.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly...
Unemployed! This is my island in the sun.
I believe you convinced them once again, Mr. Scrooge.
You were right. Music is all I understand. Because you don't need words and experience to understand it. It just is.
But there was another line in there when I had this scene with the doctor, and he says to me, "How does it feel being old?" And my line in the script was, "I don't understand how I got here." And I thought to myself, neither do I. You're all very young here, and I'll tell you what's going to happen when you get to my age. You're going to go, what happened? About 8 years ago, I was 36. And it's all gone by so quickly, you know. But then a reporter once said to me, he said, "How do you feel about growing old?" I said, "Well, considering the alternative, fantastic."
Did you take a piss today?
4 drops. You?
Same. More or less.
More or less?
Less. Did I tell you those guys in the bank had machine guns?
You told us 6 times already.
Yeah, well, it keeps going in my head. Over and over, you know?
Maybe you're having a stroke.
Today?
Not today. Let's hope we take a piss tomorrow.
I just feel very fortunate to be here. Michael's been an influence for actors since I was a young actor. He's just a class act, period.
I'm English, so I grew up with Michael Caine as one of the, British icons. I sort of felt like I knew him, even though, of course, I didn't.
There's just not a false note going on in his body, in his voice, in anything. He's just so present.
He's wise, he's funny, he's unpretentious, he's kind. It's pretty much heaven to be around him and to have worked with him.
I was so happy. I haven't been so happy in a long time.
That is the thing, when you get those tributes, and then they show 15 minutes of your movies, you start off as this young guy coming in, and you just crumble in front of him till this old guy right at the end. I hate it, I don't go to them anymore.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.